Hi, I'm Elle McCann of Curious Themes Web Development Studio in Nashville, Tennessee, and I wanted to record a video for you this week that's a little bit different from the ones that I normally do. So a lot of the videos, if you're already subscribed to this channel, are all about Shopify and how to grow your online business. So I wanted to create a video that actually really ties into all of that, but isn't as specific as going into the back end of Shopify and showing you how to do certain things. Instead, it's focused on goal setting. So with it being the start of 2018, everyone's really talking about, creating your goals for the year. And I want to get a little bit more specific with a system that I use, which is the quarter-based system. So creating all of your goals into 90-day chunks and then breaking them out into projects and tasks. So I'm actually creating two different videos, so you'll get the other one shortly after, but this first video is going to be all about the 90-day system and how it works, and also how to keep yourself accountable for reaching some of those big business goals. And in the next video, I'm going to actually walk you through going through and setting up different goals, projects, tasks, and subtasks for your business. So it may seem a little overwhelming, but I promise if you set goals, you're going to be a lot more successful with actually achieving them and growing your business to the next level, whatever that is. So let's go ahead and get started and talk more about the 90-day system and why you can really benefit from it. So the benefits of planning are very vast in terms of how it lets you really be the pilot in your business. And I love this analogy because I have always heard in terms of, the pilot, he doesn't go and serve drinks in the back. That's the flight attendant. You don't want to be a flight attendant in your business because then you're just managing, fires as they come up and tackling opportunities as they're presented to you. Or if you are the pilot in your business, you're at the head of your business and you're steering it in the direction that you want to go. The flight attendants would be people that you hire to help you with, whatever systems or things that you're putting in place. So by doing this and doing a planning for the year and then breaking that down into 90-day increments, it lets you be the pilot and decide exactly where your business is going over the next year and the direction and the goals that are going to take you there. This also helps you stay focused and it helps you avoid the shiny object syndrome. So you may have heard of this before, but the shiny object syndrome is anytime a new opportunity is presented to you, you instantly jump on it and whatever you were working on is kind of lost now. So instead of doing that, a lot of times if someone has a shiny object syndrome, there's a lot of different projects and tasks that are incomplete. So nothing's ever really getting the full attention and being able to be taken to market to get its true value, and you have a lot of incomplete projects. So by having a strategic plan for your year and your quarters, this will help you avoid that shiny object syndrome of just jumping around to the next thing, and it kind of gives you that filter to say, okay, this isn't exactly what I was planning to do, and if it is something that you still want to do, actually moving that to another quarter. And of course, it also helps you set goals and a larger vision for yourself. So it lets you go in and set that 1-year goal. As I mentioned in the first intro video of we all make goals for ourselves on, New Year's Eve in terms of resolutions. And we also do a lot of that for business. But it lets you actually take that big goal and break it down into manageable chunks. If you have the big goal and it's just like, okay, get started, then it feels really overwhelming to get that done. However, if you can then break it down into smaller bite-sized tasks and projects, then it feels a lot more manageable of actually achieving that goal. So that's what we're wanting to set out. We want to set these big goals, but we want to make them to where they're broken down to where they do still feel achievable. So we are going to be doing this through the quarter-based system. So we're going to first make the large plan for the year and then break it down into 3-month quarters. So there will be 4 3-month quarters throughout the year. So each of the quarters has roughly about 90 days, which is the perfect amount of time for keeping your focus. So if anything over that, it definitely, it's easier to lose track and lose focus. Anything under some of the bigger projects and tasks you may not be able to achieve because they do take a little bit extra time, especially if you have a full-time or part-time job. It's harder to get things done very quickly on, a couple week basis, and you do need that larger increment of time to map things out. However, you don't want to have too much time that it's always, okay, I'll do that next week, I'll do that next week, and you don't really get focused on that. So by breaking the 90-day goals down into smaller projects and tasks, this lets it be even more manageable and it keeps you focused. So at the end of the 90 days, 2 weeks out from the 90-day mark, you're not rushing to get all your work done. You've been working on all of these different projects and tasks throughout the period that helps you reach your goal. So something that I also like to do in terms of setting up my 90-day goals is actually also choosing a word or a feeling that I want to associate with that. So by doing this, it helps you set your intention for the quarter, as well as create a filter for you to run new ideas through. So again, that helps with the shiny object syndrome. So by doing this, if we'll go to the next one, you can see a couple examples of words to choose. So for example, if your goal for the quarter was going to be to create a new product or offering, your word could be focused. So that way, anytime you got a new offering or a new opportunity, you could say, okay, am I being focused like I intended to be? And how does this fit in with everything? If it doesn't, then maybe you move it to quarter 2 or quarter 3. Also, in terms of, if you are going to be generating new income streams, your word could be wealthy. So you could focus on being wealthy and making decisions from a abundance mindset instead of from a lack mindset. And my last example is getting press mention. So if that was your goal of getting a lot more visibility, that could be your word of being visible. So all of these are great ways to kind of give you a helpful mantra or mindset throughout the 90-day increment, and also gives you that filter to make sure that you're staying on task and focused. Now, in the next videos, we'll go through actually how to set up your different projects and tasks and break those down. However, I did want to mention also in this video about accountability. So doing this really helps you stay motivated and focused, and it lets you be a lot more likely to actually reach your goals. So I always recommend finding a partner to share weekly updates with. So this could be your husband, or it could be a friend or your mom, or a business friend that you have as well. There are a lot of different business groups and entrepreneurship groups, either in person or online these days, so you can connect with people that have similar interests to you, or maybe even are in the same similar industry, and you can share your goals. So by doing this, it's kind of like, if you keep your goals to yourself, if you don't achieve them, it's not that big of a deal because no one else knows. However, once you put something out there, you feel a lot more driven to actually accomplish that because you don't want to, let someone down or fail. And you're focused on actually achieving that and making sure that you are working the process to get to that finished step. So some of my favorite other systems of keeping accountable. So again, I said about sharing your word or goal with others. So my husband and I actually both create our word that is for our 90-day period. So we will share that with each other. And then as the days and weeks go on, if there is any time that one of us is feeling a little distracted from that, we'll just kind of gently remind each other of our word that we had set up for the quarter and make sure that we're staying aligned with that. I also recommend there's different 90-day based planners that you can actually use to chart your progress. So it would be, the whole planner is just 90 days, and that way you can go in and keep very, very focused of this whole entire planner is just on creating this one goal. So there's a lot of different ones out there. I definitely just recommend Googling 90-day planner, and you can find the one that best suits you. My favorite way of keeping myself accountable is actually creating a reward chart for myself. So once I go through my projects and tasks, which we'll go through in the next video, I'll actually set up a reward with that. So for example, if I was doing a big rollout of a new product launch or package for clients, I would, after I had that accomplished, maybe I have a goal of I would get a massage once I put that out there. And so that way I'm working towards that. And then once I'm getting that massage and I'm walking in there and excited to get it, it feels even more exciting because I've created that reward for myself and I've achieved my goal, and this is the byproduct of that. I also do smaller goals in terms of something for the smaller wins. So I personally love baths. So I have a chart on my wall that says Elle's Reward Bath Extravaganza. And based on, different tasks that I've completed, I'll give myself little rewards of, either using a bath bomb or getting a bottle of wine or a mud mask, face mask for the bath. So the little things like that are very helpful in terms of keeping you focused. Otherwise, there's a lot of different things that happen in 90 days. And if you can keep focus and give these little rewards to yourself, I find that it's very helpful. Now, everybody's different in terms of, what reward would work best for them, but I definitely want to challenge you to think through of what is it that you would like. I have different entrepreneurs that I've talked to that, buy themselves flowers or balloons or things like that after they've completed something. Or they'll do, if it's a big project, they'll do a weekend getaway. And things like that, it lets you stay focused, and it's also a nice thing to look forward to. And my last thing that I recommend, it feels cheesy whenever you first do it. However, it really works as well. So you can see over on the left-hand side that goal thermometer, which I'm sure a lot of you have seen if you either work for a nonprofit, if you have kids in school, or if you remember back from your school days when you were fundraising. They always had these goal thermometers in school, and it always felt so cheesy. However, it would definitely keep people excited. As the thermostat color started rising higher and higher to the top, it was very exciting to see, the progress being made. So if you have a financial goal of, if you've set up, you want to make a certain amount of money this quarter, I always recommend doing a thermostat like this, and you can just go to Google Images, and there are a lot of different templates that you can print off and put it on your wall and put your different amounts that you would like there, and as you reach them, start coloring them in with a highlighter. Again, it feels a little silly at first, but you'll definitely start seeing that you're feeling even more motivated and excited to color in that next spot because it's right there in front of you. So anytime you can put your things in front of you, or maybe even if you are a very visual person and you want to do a vision board and actually put that on your wall. I always like to keep reminders of myself of what I'm working on right in front of me. So if it helps, you could write your word that you want for the quarter and put that in a Post-it note on your computer or on your desk. Anything that you need to do to keep yourself accountable as you're working through this process. So in the next video, we're going to go through actually taking a big goal for the year and breaking that down into different quarters, and then from there into different tasks and subtasks. So definitely stay tuned, and I would love to hear how you're going to help yourself stay accountable.